There's something stuck to your feet right now, and it's draining your luck, your health, and even your money. This isn't magic. It isn't superstition. It's real vibration, invisible, but deeply felt by anyone who's ever lost everything without explanation. Picture this. You get home after a long day, slip off your shoes, and along with the relief comes an invisible poison, built-up negativity, old traumas, energies that aren't even yours, but they've latched on. And here's the scariest part. Monks from the Himalayas discovered that your feet work like spiritual antennas. If they're dirty, love stalls, health waivers, and money slips away. But there's an ancient ritual with just 3 ingredients you already have in your kitchen that unlocks that energy instantly. A pinch of salt, a little sugar, warm water. Simple, right? The effect can't be explained in words, but it can be felt. Comment below right now. Do you believe the body holds the pain the soul can't speak? I want to see who's brave enough to admit it. But there's one catch. This ritual only works during specific windows of the month, and one of those windows is open today. Ignore it now, and you could lose another 30 days of blessings, protection, and prosperity. And at the end of this video, I'll reveal the secret ingredient that's never mentioned publicly, but can make your spiritual energy explode with power. If you skip ahead, the ritual won't work. If you do it wrong, everything could get blocked. So stay with me until the end, because what you're about to see might be the answer you've been waiting for years. Look at your feet right now, without judgment. Just observe. How many roads have they walked? How many places have you stepped without even noticing the weight of the ground beneath you? Now ask yourself, when was the last time you thanked your feet for carrying everything? Everything. Your body, your pains, your memories, your failures, your hidden victories, and your unspoken silences. Your feet are the first to touch the world when you're born, and the last to rest when you leave this life. But between those two moments lies a secret almost no one notices. Your feet are spiritual sensors, antennas, invisible receivers. In Buddhist philosophy, feet are not just another part of the body. They're a direct channel between the physical and the ethereal. Everything you step on enters. Everything you feel sinks downward. Think about it. Have you ever walked into a place and felt a sudden chill for no reason? Or strolled down a street and carried a strange heaviness the rest of the day? Maybe it wasn't just intuition. Maybe your feet absorbed something your mind couldn't process. Crowded subways buzzing with stress. Quiet homes where sadness lingers in the walls. Sidewalks where footsteps of fear echo through the concrete. All of it sticks, builds up, clings to you, and if you don't cleanse it, guess what happens? Energy stagnates. Life freezes. Money stops flowing. Relationships repeat the same toxic patterns. And the body begins to break down without explanation. Yes, you might be carrying the spiritual weight of places you don't even remember visiting. And here's the key. If your feet are receivers, they can also be the gateway to release, like a door that only opens from within. And the monks knew this. That's why their rituals always began with washing the feet. But never just any way. They used symbolic elements, natural, vibrational, salt to cut ties, sugar to draw in light, water to carry transformation. But here's the truth. This ritual only works when you understand what you're doing and when you do it with intention. Have you ever felt like you're carrying an invisible weight that no matter how hard you try, something still holds you back? Hit the like button right now. That's your way of showing that you feel it and that you're here, present in this moment, because yes, there is something inside you that needs to be released. But wait, before I reveal the full ritual, you need to understand why these two simple ingredients have the power to shift your energetic vibration. And here's the kicker. Did you know that if you do this ritual with the wrong mindset, it can actually backfire? In the next few seconds, I'll show you exactly what happens inside your energy field when salt and sugar touch the water and your feet. But pay close attention. Step 3 is where most people fail, and it might be sabotaging you without you even realizing it. Salt cuts what holds you back. Sugar attracts what sets you free. And water is the bridge between those two worlds. This is the formula Buddhist monks guarded for centuries. And it's closer to you than you think. Now picture this. You're sitting quietly in a calm corner of your home. A simple basin filled with warm water. In your hand, coarse salt, white, dense, ancestral. You slowly pour it into the water. The sound of the grains sinking feels louder than the world outside. Then comes the sugar, sweet, fine, almost shy. You watch it dissolve as if asking the salt for permission. In that moment, without knowing it, you're activating a vibrational field, an energetic code aligning with your auric field. Psychologically, salt represents cleansing, protection, the breaking of repetitive cycles, and unconscious traumas. It shatters patterns, those that keep you stuck even when you've done everything right. Sugar, on the other hand, vibrates at the frequency of receptivity, emotional sweetness, and openness to the new. It attracts people, opportunities, light, and affection. And when you immerse your feet in that water, you send a silent message to your subconscious, I'm ready to let go, and I'm ready to receive. That's the moment when the vibration begins to shift. Because the ritual isn't just physical, it works on deep emotional layers, triggering shifts that clear limiting beliefs and reprogram your nervous system. Want the scientific explanation? When you practice a ritual like this with intention, the brain activates regions linked to safety, relief, and hope. It releases dopamine and serotonin, the neurotransmitters responsible for well-being, focus, and social magnetism. In other words, what begins at your feet resonates through your entire body. So write this in the comments right now. What would you like sugar to attract into your life today? It could be love, health, money, peace, but write it with honesty. Words carry power, and declaring your desire is the first step toward manifesting it. And before you ask, how much salt? How much sugar? What's the best time of day? Yes, there is a step-by-step, precise, exact, because if you get it wrong, the effect can flip, drawing in more of what you actually want to get rid of. But even more dangerous than the wrong dose is the invisible mistake that ruins the entire ritual, a subtle behavior almost everyone repeats. And it's the reason the universe doesn't hear them. In the next few seconds, you'll discover what that fatal mistake is and why it may have been sabotaging every attempt you've made to change your life. Nothing ever changes in my life. That was the phrase Helena whispered to herself every night before bed. At 62 years old, living alone in a quiet little apartment, she was surrounded by overdue bills, prescription bottles, and a collection of memories that did her no good. She had lost her husband 7 years earlier. Her kids, distant friends, faded away over time. But it wasn't the loneliness that hurt the most. It was the feeling that time was slipping by and nothing made sense anymore. An invisible weight on her chest, a nameless anxiety, an emptiness that words couldn't explain. It was in the middle of a sleepless night, scrolling on her phone, that she stumbled upon this ritual. She read. She doubted. She laughed to herself. But something she couldn't explain, made her get out of bed. It was as if a voice whispered, "Try. One last time." Helen walked to the kitchen. She set water to warm. She grabbed the salt, the sugar. She sat in silence. She immersed her feet. And there, in the soft steam rising from the warm water, she began to cry. But it wasn't an ordinary cry. It was ancient, stuck, almost forgotten. Tears that washed away, along with the water, decades of silent frustration. She closed her eyes and pictured a hug, a phone call, a light. She didn't know what to expect, but for the first time in years, she felt like she was being heard. The next morning, no spectacular miracle happened. She woke up the same, and yet different. No tightness in her chest, no constant cloud over her head. She got up, opened the windows, turned on a song she hadn't played in decades. And then the phone rang. It was a childhood friend, someone she hadn't spoken to in years. A light-hearted conversation, full of laughter. And then a proposal. "Helen, I'm starting a small project with handmade crafts, and I thought of you. I still remember how gifted your hands were." For the first time in a long while, Helen felt something she had almost forgotten. Hope. She repeated the ritual for 3 nights. Each day her energy shifted. She slept better, dreamed more, smiled without noticing. She didn't win the lottery. She didn't meet a new love. But she found herself again. If you know someone who feels stuck in the dark, someone who seems to have quietly given up, share this video now. Because the truth is, sometimes all a person needs is one simple gesture, and someone willing to say, "Try just one more time, but be careful." Helen's story almost ended differently. If she had made the same mistake most people make when trying this ritual, nothing would have happened. In the next few seconds, you'll discover what that fatal mistake is, and why it may be blocking the abundance that was already yours, but hasn't yet arrived. Most people perform this ritual the wrong way, and they don't even realize it. They follow the steps. They use the salt. They pour the sugar. They dip their feet. But nothing changes. Do you know why? Because they do it in a rush, with doubt, with their soul somewhere else. That's the fatal mistake, treating the ritual like a chore instead of a surrender. You could have the perfect ingredients, the right timing, the water at the perfect temperature. But if your mind is restless, if your heart is skeptical, if you're only testing to see if it works, the universe goes silent. The Buddhist monks knew this. For them, the act was less important than the intention. It's like trying to light a candle in a hurricane. The right match doesn't matter if the inner wind is out of control. They taught that presence is the key to transformation. A ritual done with awareness is a sacred code. A ritual done with anxiety turns into noise. And the universe doesn't listen to noise. Now tell me honestly, when you do something to change your life, are you fully there? Or are you just going through the motions like following a recipe without faith? Modern life is addicted to distractions. You begin the ritual, but your mind drifts to bills piling up. You dip your feet, but you're checking your phone. You close your eyes, but you replay old conversations in your head. And that's where it all slips away. Because energy responds to intention, not to effort. Type in the comments right now. Would you do this ritual in a rush or with true intention? I want to see who's really ready to shift their vibration. And there's more. Did you know there's a specific time when this ritual is most powerful? Yes, there's an energetic window. A moment in the day when the gates are wide open and water becomes a vessel for deep purification. That window is happening today, and it won't come back for another 30 days. If you miss it, you'll have to wait for the lunar cycle to renew. And until then, things could stay the same, or even get worse. That's why it's not enough to know how to do it. You need to know when and with what intention. In the next step, I'll show you exactly how to perform the ritual step by step, just as the monks did, including one final detail nobody ever told you. The detail that seals the ritual like an energetic contract with the universe. And that detail is what transforms simple warm water into a spiritual bath of vibrational reprogramming. Close your eyes for a few seconds. Take a deep breath. Now imagine you're about to begin something sacred, something the monks would only do in silence when everything else had failed. You're in a calm space, soft lighting. The warm water sits there in a plain bowl, but filled with intention. It's not just water, it's liquid memory, the element that shapes everything, your body, your emotions, your vibration. Now, with your right hand, take 3 spoonfuls of coarse salt. Pour them slowly into the water. Listen to the sound of the grains sinking. It's as if they're pulling down everything that no longer serves you. Feel it. The air shifts. You shift. Next, take 2 spoonfuls of sugar. Sprinkle it gently over the water. Watch how quickly it dissolves, as if it's showing you that lightness doesn't have to take long. Now, immerse your feet slowly, with presence, feeling every point of contact between skin and water. The warmth surrounds your ankles. Your legs relax. A soft shiver runs up your spine. It's as if your body is whispering, "Now I'm truly being cared for." In this moment, visualize, yes, see it clearly. You receiving what you most desire, money flowing with ease, a heartfelt hug, the peace you lost and want to find again. A new path unfolding right under your feet. Don't speak. Don't get distracted. Just feel. Stay there, feet immersed, for 7 minutes. And here comes the most important part. When you're done, do not dry your feet. Let the water dry naturally. That gesture is symbolic. It's the universe finishing what you've begun. This is the seal, the energetic signature of your ritual. And one more detail. While the water dries, remain in silence. Think about what you desire, but think with faith, not with anxiety, with gratitude, not with pressure, with a sense of worthiness, not with desperation. If you've made it this far, write in the comments right now, "I deserve abundance." Don't type it casually. Write it like you're declaring to the world that you're ready, like you're sealing a new chapter, with awareness and truth. Most people stop here, but the monks went further. They would add one last hidden gesture, almost like a final whisper to the universe. That gesture turns the ritual into a spiritual pact, and in the next step, I'll reveal exactly what it is and why it activates what Buddhists call the spiritual echo. You've done the ritual. You soaked your feet. You felt the warm water touch your skin, dissolve the weight, open a new path. But the ancient monks always finished with one final step, a silent step, almost secret dash dash. And just as important as the rest. Take a blank piece of paper, no lines, pure, write on it. With your own hand, just one request. But choose carefully. This isn't the time to ask for everything. It's the time to ask for what your soul truly longs for. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe. Let the request rise from within, not from a restless mind. Write slowly with intention. This paper becomes an extension of your vibrational desire. It's like planting an invisible seed. Now fold the paper into 3 parts, like a secret envelope. Place it under your pillow. For the next 3 nights before you sleep, read out loud what you wrote, not like someone begging, but like someone affirming it's already on its way, and it's coming to me. This simple gesture activates what the monks called the spiritual echo, a vibrational field that keeps working even while you sleep. While your body rests, your spiritual mind keeps moving. It sends signals, vibrations. It calls synchronicities. That's why, after this ritual, some people report vivid dreams, unusual sensations, or unexpected encounters. Don't be afraid. Don't doubt. Observe. Write them down. Trust. Now, type in the comments, "Path to Prosperity." Write it to seal your energy, and to let that vibration ripple out to others who read it. Yes, your words heal too. And here's the question that closes this cycle, but also opens a new one. Next time you feel stuck, when nothing seems to flow, will you keep complaining in silence, or will you soak your feet and restart your path to abundance? The choice is yours. It always has been. If you felt something real in this video, subscribe to this channel now. Not out of habit, but out of purpose. This is a space of ancient wisdom resurfacing to transform lives, and maybe yours will be the next. Hit the bell. Not because that's what everyone does, but because the next ritual only works on specific dates. And the next one is closer than you think. In the upcoming videos, you'll discover hidden practices from Tibet, energy rituals from the Andes, and spiritual codes from the desert that can completely reprogram your reality. You made it this far. That's no accident. The ritual has begun, and now it continues within you.